Hello, my name is Miles Austin D.V. Harnale of BSAMT 2A, and today I will be talking about airworthiness certificates in the aviation industry. To recall again on airworthiness, it is the act of restoring the aircraft to its optimal condition, or to maintain the aircraft in order for it to perform at its best performance and is safe to operate. In airworthiness certificates, there are things to consider in order for you to successfully acquire and maintain a certificate. Any maintenance procedures you perform should be approved by Civil Air Regulations or CAR and are also approved for registered aircraft. Performing unapproved maintenance practices can have your certificate suspended or revoked depending on the severity of the violation. It is wise to follow the prescribed maintenance procedures by CAR in order to maintain a certificate and, most importantly, to keep the people in the aviation industry safe. Additionally, you have to make sure the aircraft is properly registered and marked as required by CAR. An example of this is the aircraft conforms to its type certificate and is approved and safe to operate and to be able to acquire an airworthiness certificate. These procedures ensure that the aviation industry is safe and efficient. Safety is the number one priority of all aviation employees, in which the employees should know by heart.
Good day everyone. My name is Dimitri S. Costa from BSAMT2A. Today I'm going to discuss the Certificate of Airworthiness under Philippine Civil Aviation Regulation Part 5, Section 5.4. In the following subparts, we will look into the relevance of airworthiness certificates as well as the process necessary for the issuance of these certificates. The first thing that we need to know is who is eligible for these certificates. According to Section 5.4.1.2 of PICAR Part 5, anyone who is a registered owner or could also be an agent of a registered owner of an aircraft registered in the Republic of the Philippines may apply for the Certificate of Airworthiness or COA. Each applicant for a COA shall apply in a form and manner acceptable to the authority. The aircraft should possess the necessary requirements for flying in safe conditions within allowable limits. Let's now move on to the classifications of Certificate of Airworthiness. For aircraft in the particular category and model designated by the state of design in the type certificate, a standard COA will be issued. For example, standard aircrafts will be eligible for standard certificates as they are designated in that kind of certificate. Considering that the aircraft does not fit the standards, the authority can grant them a special COA in the form of a restricted certificate or special flight permit. Now, we come to the next point, the amendment of the Certificate of Airworthiness. The authority may amend or modify a COA upon application from an operator or on its own initiative. For instance, the certificate may be amended or modified if the aircraft has undergone modifications or has been customized. To ensure the safety of the flight despite the modification of an aircraft, an amendment of a COA is required. Last but not the least, the transfer or surrender of Certificate of Airworthiness. The transfer of COA is only approved if the lease of the aircraft is within or outside the Republic of Philippines, or if the buyer is currently residing here in our country. On the condition that the buyer is outside the Philippines, the owner shall surrender the COA to the issuing authority.
The Republic of the Philippines Civil Aviation Regulation (PICAR) Part 5 presents regulatory requirements of airworthiness of an aircraft expected to operate in the Republic of the Philippines using standard and recommended practice in ICAO Annex 6 and 8. Part 5 is designed to address the complex situation faced by most countries today respecting the airworthiness of aircraft operating within the country and in international aviation. This training provides for aircraft and aeronautical products an overview of certification requirements, issuance of certificate of airworthiness, continued airworthiness, rebuild and modification, maintenance and preventive maintenance, aircraft inspection requirements, and air operator aircraft maintenance and inspection requirements. What is the benefit of attending this training? The number one benefit of attending this training is an awareness of structure, composition, and impact of the PICAR Part 5. Number two, understanding organizational roles and responsibilities in compliance to PICAR Part 5 airworthiness. Number three, understanding the environment driving the PICAR Part 5 airworthiness to process to focus your business decision making process. Number four, understanding the concept of airworthiness and its importance to ensure safety of flight. Number five, confidence in gaining detailed knowledge of the key elements of CAR Part 5 airworthiness. And the last one is have an in-depth understanding of an interface between PICAR Part 5 and PICAR Part 6 AMO roles, responsibilities, and obligations.
An applicant for special flight permit must submit a statement in a form and manner prescribed by the authority indicating the purpose of the flight, the proposed itinerary, the crew required to operate the aircraft and its equipment, the ways, if any, in which the aircraft does not comply with the applicable airworthiness requirement, any restriction the applicant considers necessary for safe operation of aircraft, any other information considered necessary by the authority for the purpose of prescribing operating limitation. Responsibilities of exporter. Each exporter receiving an export airworthiness approval for a product shall forward to the air authority of the importing country all documents and information necessary for the proper operation of the product being exported. Flight manuals, maintenance manuals, service bulletin, and assembly instruction, and such other material as stipulated in the special requirements of importing country. The document information and material may be forwarded by any means consistent with the special requirements of importing country. Forward the manufacturer assembly instruction and an authority approved flight test from to the civil aviation authority of the importing country when assembled aircraft are exported. This instruction must be sufficient detail permit whatever rigging, alignment, and ground testing necessary to ensure the aircraft will conform to the approved configuration when assembled. Remove or cause to be removed and temporary installation incorporated aircraft for the purpose of export delivery and restore the aircraft to the approved configuration upon completion of delivery flight. Secure all proper foreign entry clearance from all countries involved when conducting self-demonstration or delivery flights. When title to an aircraft passes or has passed to the foreign purchaser, after issuance of export airworthiness approval, request cancellation of the RP registration and certificate of airworthiness giving the date of transfer of title and the name of the others foreign owner. Return the registration and certificate the airworthiness to the authority. Submit the statement certifying the RP identification and the registration number have been approved from aircraft in compliance with Part 4. Responsibility. The owner of the aircraft, or in the case of leased aircraft, the lessee shall be responsible for maintaining the aircraft in airworthy condition by ensuring that all maintenance of overhaul, modification, and repair which affect airworthiness are performed as prescribed by the state of registry. Authorized maintenance personnel make appropriate entries in the aircraft maintenance record certifying that the aircraft is airworthy. A maintenance release is completed to certify the maintenance work performed has been completed satisfactorily in accordance with the prescribed method And in the event there are open discrepancy, the maintenance list includes a list of uncorrected maintenance items, and these items are made a part of aircraft permanent record.
Hi, I'm Jason Lana Bendanya from BSAMT2A. I will discuss the certificate of airworthiness from in the 5.4.1.7. This aircraft identification. Each applicant for a certificate of airworthiness shall show that the aircraft is properly registered and marked, including identification plates, as required by Car Part 4. Next is 5.4.1.8 is issue of standard certificate of airworthiness. So, an applicant for a standard certificate of airworthiness for an import aircraft type certificate in accordance with this part is entitled to a certificate of airworthiness if the country in which the aircraft was manufactured or previously registered certifies and the authority finds that the applicant present evidence to the authority that the aircraft confirms to a type design approved under a type certificate or supplement type supplemental type certificate and to the applicable airworthiness directives of the state of manufacturer. Next is the second is the aircraft has been inspected in accordance with the performance rules of this regulation for inspection and found airworthy by person authorized by the authority to make such determination within the last 30 calendar days. And the third is the authority finds after an inspection that the aircraft conforms to type design and in condition for safe operation. Next is the authority may validate a certificate of airworthiness issued by another contracting state upon registration of the aircraft in Republic of the Philippines for the period specified that the certificate. Next is likewise all class or aeronautical products such as aircraft engine and propeller that are first of its kind to be placed under the Philippine registry must undergo type certificate validation to become eligible for importation and to obtain certificate of airworthiness. Next is airworthiness directives. Upon registration of an aircraft in the Republic of the Philippines, the authority will notify the state of design of the aircraft of the registration in the Republic of the Philippines and request that the authority receives any all airworthiness directive addressing that aircraft or airplane, aircraft engine, propeller, appliance or component parts.